2020. This number seems to be very special for several reasons. 2020 vision, 20 maximum moves to solve a Rubik's Cube. It's a tetrahedral number! I guess you could say it rocks, but I'd consider it a bit more jazzy. And you know what else is pretty jazzy? The Jazz Age, which conveniently took place in the 1920s. This term Jazz Age was coined by Francis Scott Fitzgerald to describe the free-spirited, vibrant, and roaring era, and it was pretty appropriate too, because jazz seems to represent the core popular values during this cultural boom. The nature of this music is improvised and free of structure, which is essentially how most people lived their lives during that time. This iconic Gatsby image portrays the rebellious lifestyle among younger generations of the time. Though this extravagant party life wasn't just because someone decided to celebrate the end of World War I. New labor-saving technologies like toasters or washing machines came around, which led to the emergence of entertainment like radio and talkie movies, and the development of more efficient transportation methods, like airplanes or cars. I'm pretty sure you can recognize this lovely Model T. If it weren't for mass production, assembly lines, and the rise of a consumerist economy, most of these things would have died out, and quickly too. Credit was established as a viable method for payment of these costly items, and in turn led to massive, widespread debt, but that's a problem for later. Meanwhile, people had plenty of free time to spend on leisurely activities, such as watching sports or movies. The rise of Hollywood and celebrities propelled this bold culture, with companies producing over 500 movies per year. But let's not forget our literary celebrities. Some world-renowned authors and poets came from this time period, such as Ernest Hemingway, F. Scott Fitzgerald, and Langston Hughes. Speaking of Langston Hughes, there was a massive revolution for Americans of African descent during the Jazz Age. The Harlem Renaissance brought authors, artists, and musicians from all across the country to the stage, where they finally managed to achieve some, the same, or even greater success than their Caucasian counterparts. It's also especially remembered for the introduction of jazz music, where artists like Louis Armstrong could express themselves freely while partying hard with the rich guys at nightclubs, speakeasies, or parties. At these clubs and parties, we also saw the glamorous side of life, with flappers representing the image of a new woman, short skirt, bobbed hair, and independent. Women merged in with the cool guys by taking part in voting, smoking, and drinking. These last two led to alcoholic tendencies banned by prohibition, but rebutted by organized crime and gangsters. These outrageous lifestyles and the surplus of job opportunities were admired by people worldwide, which led to increased immigration, but also xenophobia. Groups like the Ku Klux Klan flourished in the opposition and held extremely nativist views. Communism was also feared with the Red Scare, which led to the downfall of many famous people. But the worst of all was the overconfident assumption that everything could remain as is. A Great Depression was right around the corner. But for the meantime, let's just say the Jazz Age was still smooth and groovy.